Item 11E, discussion concerning the appointment of a new tax administrator. Mr. Richard Lightner, tax administrator. Welcome, Richard.
Good evening. I believe you have in your package a notice about my retirement. As people say, the time has come, the end is near. So I will be leaving the county full employment December 16th of this coming year, which is roughly 8 weeks. After 35 years of leading the tax department, it's not something I want to do necessarily get away. It's just after 35 years, there's time for somebody else to, carry forward the county in where the county needs to be. I know over the last few years we've had a lot of department heads leave, and some department heads have left, and we are still searching for a department head. Over the last 4 or 5 years, Derek and I have talked about this, so we took steps to prepare for this time. And what I'm going to recommend is Abby Braswell to take over the remainder of my appointment. The notice you got is January 1, 2021, but it's actually July 1, 2021. We are appointed on odd years, and when somebody steps down, then the county reappoints somebody for the remainder of the unexpired term. So that would be until 2021. And at that time, that person can be appointed for a 4-year term. So what we did is Abby became the first female appraiser in Macon County's history. She is a real estate appraiser. We had her trained. She is also certified by the Department of Revenue as a tax administrator, which she completed last year. So there's no more classes she has to take for the basics. One thing I would say in her behalf, we had a reevaluation this year, and so happened I had emergency back surgery at the same time. So Abby did run the tax office during all the hearings and all that. So she's been with the county 15 years. She's native here. She grew up here, and I think she's the one to continue the continuity which we began 35 years ago. So it's up to the board, and I make that to the board that, since I'm leaving in 8 weeks, we need to continue the continuity of where we've been. I think we've saved the county lots of money. There's a lot of openings throughout the state for tax administrators. Most of them are getting filled by people with nowhere near the experience in the office. So that's what I propose to the board at this point. County Manager.
I couldn't agree more, Richard. As Richard said, he had emergency back surgery during this reappraisal, and Abby took the bull by the horns, and she handled the appeals and stepped in and never missed a beat in the tax office. And there's a lot to be said for that. And there's a lot to be said for that about Richard and the way that he cares for this department and acknowledging this and planning for it, coming to me about it, as he said 4 or 5 years ago. That tells you a lot about why that Richard's been able to do what he's done for 35 years, because, as the tax man, you're often you're not as popular as the Sunday school superintendent sometimes. But Richard has a way of being able to explain things to people, and he has a great department with great staff, all well trained, and he's done a great job for 35 years to this county, and something that we should be very grateful for, and just to know that as part of that, he's taken the time to kind of succession plan so that his leaving wouldn't leave the county in a tight spot. So, Richard, a lot to be said for you, and a lot to be said for that recommendation of Abby, because she has done, and I feel will do a great job.
One thing I failed to remind the board, January this year, we start the 2023 reappraisal. So, there's no lapse on a 4-year schedule. So that's another reason of importance.
Can we get a motion to appoint Ms. Braswell as tax administrator through July 1, 2021 upon the retirement of Richard Lightner?
Mr. Chairman, I've had the privilege of working with Richard as not only chairman of his equalization board for many years, but since I've been a commissioner. And first of all, we can't say enough good things about Richard Lightner. I mean, we're light years ahead of most counties with less equipment than most counties. I know that for a fact. And I would certainly make the motion for Miss Abby Braswell if Abby wants that position. So I would make that in the form of a motion that we follow Mr. Lightner, County Manager's request.
Welcome, Abby. We got a motion on the floor by Commissioner Bill, second by Commissioner Shields. Abby, before we vote, would you like to address this?
I want to thank you for taking the time. I want to thank Richard for the last couple of years. He's really had his faith in me. He's pushed me. He's mentored me. He's given me everything I've needed to get this position. And we have a wonderful tax staff. I feel very confident that we can do this together as a group. And as you said, we do a lot with a lot less than other counties. We just came from Union County today. They have 7 appraisers. They have a huge staff. And I think we do just as well or better than they do from what I've seen.
Good.
So I do believe that we can do this, and I would love to accept this position.
Thank you. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Richard, thank you.
Now, thank you, board.